Uh, I've been gone. Things have been drama circle lately. Talk about it.
Big dinner box, 8 wings, 5 breadsticks, 2 pizzas, big dinner box, 8 wings.
So, I mean, you guys can probably tell, but today's not gonna be a normal stream. Not gonna, watch videos or play games or anything today. I kind of just have a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about, and then I'm probably just gonna go offline after. But yeah, it's I mean, you guys know, I've been streaming for 10 years. Last week was kind of the first time that I ever really spoke about a topic or something that happened to me. And honestly, I'm really glad
They
that
partially
I did.
mean Fasama.
And
I don't know what that mean, bro.
I feel like I have to
I know what I mean,
see its
bro.
conclusion, if that makes
Bro.
sense. Not just for myself, but for, in a way, I kind of feel like a lot of people are involved.
Bro, you right.
Because it doesn't just affect me. So that's why. Sorry about my voice. I'm very, very nervous in case you can't tell. But I knew that this stream had to be done today. So yeah, pretty much.
Talking about.
Yeah. So I guess might as well get started.
This is
not stall too much or anything.
Drama of the. This is the drama of the week. I guess I don't know what's funny going on. I know it has to do with her and Mizkif. I don't know what's going on. I'm finna hear me talk about this. Well, not me talking about it. We's gonna see what's going on. Yo, what is she talking about? She ain't talking about nothing yet, but I think it's about the whole drama with her and Mizkif or something like that. We finna.
I know there's a lot of people here who don't normally watch.
Finna get into this.
You're wondering, yes, I do normally run 20-minute intros. And yes, my community at least claims that they like it. I think that they like it. I like playing songs for you guys, but anyway, yeah, anyway. We don't like it? Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, I'm probably gonna stop reading chat now as well, but I mean, you guys are free to say whatever you want, obviously. So, yeah, like I said before, it's been a pretty crazy week. And a lot of things have happened since the last time that I streamed in relation to what I talked about last week, the whole TwitchCon incident. Some other things happened that kind of pushed me to talk about a lot of things that I want to talk about today. So as you can see, I wrote out my notes, and not only that, I have even more notes.
Could be good.
So, yeah, if it seems like I'm reading a script or something, it's because I wrote super detailed notes because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. So, I think everyone knows about last week, the stuff that happened at TwitchCon. I was assaulted, and the guy was able to leave the venue, basically. Okay, so intro, first thing that I want to talk about is I did see the Twitch tweet that I believe went out yesterday. I was literally in a Discord call with my friends, and they were like, "Did you see that Twitch apologized to you?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" So yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is they put out that tweet. I was never apologized to privately. They put that out without consulting me or anything. I didn't know that they were gonna do that, so that was yeah. I mean, I'm glad that they're trying to take some level of accountability, but there's a lot of things that they didn't mention in the tweet that I feel like should have been mentioned. But anyway, more stuff's been happening behind the scenes. So I want to say that last week Everything I said on my stream was accurate, obviously, except for one thing. I was wrong about one thing. I was going over the tweet that Twitch initially put out, where they're like, oh yeah, this thing happened to a high-profile creator. Police were on site. We're cooperating with law enforcement investigations. What I was wrong about was, they were not cooperating with law enforcement investigations. I found that out on Monday when I got a phone call from the San Diego police, and they were talking to me, and they basically said, hey, we can't really do anything right now because they apparently know the name of the guy, but they're not giving it to us until a warrant goes through, which, if you know anything about that stuff, it usually takes a while. Even if it's expedited, which it was being expedited for me, but it still takes a lot of time. And they're like, yeah, they're refusing to give us the name, which as far as I'm aware is like a very common company thing, where they'll be, they don't want to give out names of potential people involved in crimes, because then like that person could maybe like sue them for giving their name to police. I don't know, something like that. That's what my lawyer said. But basically, they were Twitch was trying to make sure that the guy that assaulted me didn't sue them, which meant that the police were not able to work on the case right away. So yeah, I got a call about that on, I believe it was Monday, from the San Diego police. They were like, yeah, we're working on the warrant, but like right now, that's like all we can really do, but like we're trying our best, just like want to let you know, we're gonna keep in the loop and everything. I was like, okay. I was very frustrated because I was like, damn, like I didn't know that on Saturday. I would have said that if I knew. And then I believe it was the next day, there was someone who, I don't know if they were a viewer or if they were just someone who like knew of the situation from social media. They contacted my manager, and they basically told her that at their place of work, someone came into their work who matched the description of the guy, and this person was saying like, oh, I'm traveling to Texas, and I caused like quite a stir at a TwitchCon, and this person like, reached out to my manager, reached out to police, San Diego police interviewed them. But basically what I'm trying to say is, because all this stuff was delayed, this guy was able to get really far away from San Diego, allegedly. And this whole time my manager was like, basically like begging Twitch, like, dude, like please give us his name. Like, we don't know who this person is. Like, for all we know, he like lives around where Emmy and her roommates live. Like, I can't like help her if like I don't know who this person is, and they were refusing to do it. But after that tip from the person who said that the guy came into their workplace and was talking to him, my manager demanded the info from Twitch. So they did end up giving it to police, but not my manager, as far as I know. She still doesn't. Yeah, so the investigation's still going on, but it's like been a huge mess because of all of the delays and like refusal to work with the police. And yeah, it's ongoing. I can't like say too much about it. Like, all this that I'm saying, obviously I like ran by my lawyer and stuff. And I do want you guys to know that Melissa has been making sure that, me and my roommates, who are obviously other pretty well-known girl streamers, that we have been safe here, paying for like security stuff, making sure we're protected. Again, my manager's been taking care of that all on her own. Twitch did not offer anything like that. And yeah, that's where it is right now, pretty much. I can't say like too much about what me and my lawyer are doing, but my hope is really that there's some kind of like public resolutions that people who like have seen this and like know about everything that's happened can feel better about it. because like I said, I don't feel like it's just about me. Like it could have been anyone that it happened to, like a small streamer who's not as lucky to have the resources or like, you know, the reach that I have. So it's very scary and yeah, just very, very frustrating. And yeah, I don't know where that's gonna go. I'm sure that, you know, they're probably, I would speculate, not very happy with me for talking about all this, but I feel like it's not fair to keep it hidden from all the people who literally had to witness it because of Twitter and Reddit and all these things. I mean, I'm not complaining about that, obviously. You guys know I was super grateful that the guy posted it, got, you know, spread around so that I didn't have to figure out how to talk about it myself. But yeah, I'm just it's a lot. It's been really heavy this week, but obviously I've been getting a lot of support from my friends and other streamers, and obviously my manager, the people that I work with, my employees and such. But yeah, I don't want to just let this be a thing that I think that they're hoping it just blows over and gets like swept under the rug. I'm not gonna, you know, go live every stream and complain about it like, oh, you know, I got done dirty. I'm not gonna do that, but I'm gonna try to the best of my ability, keep you guys updated until there's like some kind of resolution, you know, so. Yeah, pretty heavy, intense stuff. Yeah.
He's just rambling.
Been, sorry, I'm just looping myself now. But yeah, I would hate if like this kind of just went away and people were like, oh, what happened? You know, I don't know. You know, am I gonna go to TwitchCon next year? And you know, like if something happens to me, it's gonna, you know, they're gonna try to hide it, basically. Yeah. So there's that. Give me a second. I have some more stuff I want to talk about, but I'm trying to not rush myself because I'm trying my best to, like, you know, stay composed to the best of my ability, so that I can get to the information across accurately. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for. You know, so I mean, I did make a tweet, but like it was some time. And why I made the decision to do this stream. I have a few more things I would like to get out of the way before I start talking about all of this. The way that I'm gonna do this today, I know this won't stop everyone, but I ask people, for the streamers that I mentioned, please fully as I can. But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, killed my own rabbits. Yeah, like I said, one of the main reasons I decided to do this stream is to come out about all of this because I can't hold on to it any longer because it feels wrong to do so. And an honorable mention reason for why I'm doing this is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him. I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably gonna come as quite a shock.
Okay. This nigga has always been getting into drama recently. I don't know why. I thought Mizkif was a pretty cool dude. This nigga always getting into drama though. It's like every year, something new about him. Don't know him like that. Like, I mean, that's true. Like, what's up with this?
To him that this information made its way back to me and that I've known for months. But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet. Okay. So now that I've explained all the reasons why this took so long and why I made the decision to do this stream, I have a few more things I would like to get out of the way before I start talking about all of this. The way that I'm gonna do this today is I'm gonna run through everything from the beginning to the end to try to get across the story as accurately and fully as I can.
Water.
And, hold on. Hold on. I'm also going to be showing a few screenshots validating what I'm saying. I have more things, but this is what I felt comfortable using today. And I will be running through those later. Another thing that I'd like to mention before I start is that during my statement, I'm going to be mentioning directly the names of about half a dozen other creators who were present for certain things. And I want to say that none of these people did anything wrong. I'm just saying that they were there, and I've asked all of them permission. They all said that it was fine to say their names, but I know this won't stop everyone, but I ask people, for the streamers that I mentioned, please don't go bothering them or asking them for more information. If there's something else that they want to say, they'll say it themselves, so there's no point to go pester them and bother them about it. There are also streamers who gave me permission to share things that they relayed to me privately, but asked me to redact their names, which I, of course, did. And the last thing that I want to make clear is that not every person that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of all of these things. And in fact, most of them didn't. And some of them didn't even know anything at all. I tried to keep things private with my close friends, but if anyone during the past year ever approached me asking questions, I didn't lie and I told them the truth. But yeah, I don't want there to be some kind of witch hunt like, oh, you know,
a bunch.
This, no, a lot of people, you know,
there's a bunch going on with this.
Didn't know anything. Okay, I think that's all that I have to get out of the way to start. So, this is public information. I initially moved in. Sorry, I'm still sick, like I said.
I call everybody sick, I feel like.
Okay. This is all public, obviously this part.
Okay.
I moved in with him. I believe it was the end of 2021 because he offered. I was living alone at the time, and I was having stalker issues in Kansas, and I mean, you guys know like all the stuff that happened there. I ended up joining the org and everything. We did a lot of streams together.
Okay.
And I mean, a lot of people already know this, but I'm just gonna come out and say it. We started dating. We were in a relationship starting January.
Everybody knew that. I mean, come on now. Everybody knew that. Everybody knew that. Like when, like, you could just tell, like when they were just really, really vibing with each other. Like nigga, they was damn near with each other every day. Ain't nobody know they was together. Come on now.
2022. After I joined OTK. I'm not planning to go into too much detail about the start of the relationship because it honestly doesn't really matter at this point. It's irrelevant now. the only things that really matter that you guys need to know for the story are that it was, one, an extremely private relationship. It was even hidden from friends and people in the org, but I mean, obviously people all eventually figured it out. They're not fucking stupid. And second, it was an extremely codependent relationship, which it's not the issue, but that's just, you know, making that clear for details. He initially portrayed himself to me as someone who was very nice to girls and wanted to help me feel safe from stalkers and wanted me to succeed as a teammate. And we grew very close over time, and I was very dependent on him for feelings of safety, social life, like my stream, my job, everything. So yeah, besides it being a very codependent relationship, the start of it was fine. I saw a lot of people mentioning this. They thought this was what I was going to talk about. It's not a secret. I think everyone who paid attention knew that he was very controlling over what I wore, to a degree, who I was friends with, and even when I would stream. So when it was definitely slow over time that bad things started happening. At the start, it would be things like, for example, he would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruised very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always, you know, was like, oh, it's an accident.
Sis. Gave your ass a black eye. I don't know how niggas just be comfortable doing that. Like, even like, that's how you putting your hands on a woman, you know. But at the same time, nigga, you shouldn't be throwing nothing at nobody. Like, what? I mean, nigga Mizkif be on some shit, man. I'm telling that nigga be tripping. I swear that nigga always be into something every year. He just be into some shit. And that nigga be tripping for real.
And
Nigga
I was
throwing
like,
stuff
oh,
at
yeah,
her,
it's an accident.
and then gave her a black eye. It don't even matter if it was like a punch, like nigga, he still gave her a black eye. Just throwing your phone. Like, what the hell?
You know,
Man,
of course
tripping.
I'm not gonna think that, you know, he's, yeah, I just, at the time, I just kind of was, you know, I just brushed it off, and
Could never been
looking
me.
back now, I feel like that was kind of the start of him testing my boundaries, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that was already kind of starting to show signs within the first 6 months of me and him being close, and then again, a very public situation. The end of 2022, the cover-up allegations happened. I mean, yeah, like I said, all that's public. You can find all that, see like what I said during that, everything. After that happened, his behavior started getting a lot worse, which, I mean, I suppose it makes sense. You know, he was very stressed. A lot of stuff was happening, but the bad behavior was ramping up, and I feel like it's so apparent if, like, you know, you go back and watch anything from that time. I tried so hard to help him and be there for him because I really believed in him, and I wanted him to, you know, get better and get back on his feet and be the person that, you know, I always believed that he was. But that unfortunately did not really happen. For a long time, I think about a year and a half from when that all happened, it was kind of like slow things getting worse. But I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna bother going into the details of all of that because there's just too much to cover, and it's honestly kind of not really relevant to the rest of what I'm saying because the rest of what I want to say is a lot worse. There was a point where things really took a turn for the worst. Like, it felt like, like a very delicate branch just kind of snapped. So, and again, a lot of people are like vaguely aware of this, but I'll explain it for people who aren't, chronically tapped into all that stuff. So for a long time after the cover up allegations happened and he was starting to kind of struggle on his stream, he never wanted to stream at the same time as me. We really avoided it. And to me at the time it made sense because, I was like, well, of course, we share a lot of community members. If we're live at separate times, we're both gonna perform better. It makes sense. But yeah, we were never really live doing the same thing at the same time for a long time, with the exception of things like events or sponsors or just special things. For a very long time, and a lot of you guys probably noticed that I would only usually stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That was because of him. And now I stream whenever I want, but the first time that we ever streamed at the same time was for the 2024 Rust Kingdoms event on Twitch. Oh, yeah. We were sharing drops, so it was the first time in a very long time that we were both going to be live at the same time doing the same thing, basically. I know you're probably like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? But it'll make sense in a bit. So I'm live, he's live, we're both streaming, and like I said, you can go find all of this. This is public. There are clips of this. We're both streaming the Rust event, and I thought it was going really well. I thought everyone was having fun. I was like, oh, this is great. Everyone's, doing the same thing at the same time. We're all hanging out. We're gonna have fun.
Oops.
I was really, really excited. And then I start seeing in my chat people start saying unofficial Miz raid, and I'm like, what does that mean? And then I check my Discord messages, and he's messaging me.
Thumbnail.
He's saying Emmy, I'm gonna kill myself. I waited, or I'm gonna KMS. I waited so long for this, etc. And basically he was upset because I had higher viewership than him. That's literally it. I had.
It's crazy. That's crazy. That's this nigga mad at her, throwing phones at her black eyes cause she pulling in more views. Wow. I mean, I understand it, but not to that extent. Come on, bruh. That's crazy. All that cause she was pulling more? There's no way. It has to be more.
I had higher viewership than him. And like I said, this is during an event. So there were drops. Everyone knows when there's drops, it's not even fucking real. But yeah, he starts messaging me. He's really upset. I tried to tell him, I was like, bro, you should come back and play. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's wondering where you are. But yeah, he ended his stream. And then I'm still live, you know, trying to act like nothing's wrong. And in that house, I had a glass door so I could like see this was happening. He was walking behind me, making sure that I knew he was there. And by the way, so there were many ways out of that house if he wanted to leave the house that were closer to his stream room. He intentionally chose the door that was right by my room. I feel like that's pretty apparent, at least to me. He starts walking behind my stream and slamming the door so loud that my noise gate can pick it up. So even people on my stream are able to hear this is happening. And he slams it so hard and so many times that the front door literally broke. The lock did not work anymore. It didn't work for months, and it would just make this horrible sound that I would have to hear like every fucking day. But anyway, so I hear him back there doing this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I tell my stream, I'm like, hey, guys, I'll be right back. I get up and I go talk to him, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, Emmy, like, I hate all of you guys. Like, all you guys do is just take from me, and like, I'm just done. Like, I'm just done. And I was like, is this like really happening because of rush drops? And he was like, I don't know.
This nigga, yeah. Bugging. Off of you. It's real. Like, niggas are really, like, and I understand it to a point because, like, this is his job, you know, this is how he makes a living. But it's like I'd be static as hell if my girl was pulling like more views than me. You know what I'm saying? I'd probably be a little jealous, hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, but not to the sense of like want to like somewhat abuse you and like, you know what I'm saying, treat you a certain way. Huh. This nigga mad. This nigga mad that she pulling it. Like, that's crazy.
To do. He was like going off on me, like basically saying that he hated me. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do now. And he was like, go finish your stream so that people don't know anything's wrong. And I stop in the bathroom outside my stream room, and I'm like, you know, checking my makeup, trying to make sure people can't tell that I was like crying. And I'm only in there for like 30 seconds, and he comes and like looms in the doorway. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just checking my makeup. So I go back and I stream for a couple hours, finish the stream, do my best to just like, you know, carry on the show basically. And yeah, after that, like I said, was when things started to get really fucking bad. It was like something just snapped. For the rest of the week, he streamed the Rust event. He got all the drop viewers. I'm sure he was very happy. I mean, good for him. And during that time, I obviously was like thinking and processing a lot of what happened. But I mean, it was a lot because this person was at the time like kind of it was like my partner and my best friend, and like the only person that like I really talked to ever, or like at least off stream. So I mean, it was a lot. But the very next stream, I went live about a week after that, and I announced that I was planning to move because I knew that I would have to move. So I was like, okay, I have to go live and say this so that, you know, kind of force myself to commit to it, right? Does that make sense?
I'm Ailey, the greatest magician.
Ridiculous.
God's above. It's gone.
May the light...
Obviously, I didn't move out right away, but after like all of that Rust stuff happened was when the other domestic abuse stuff really started. He would destroy furniture in front of me. He would throw things in front of me and near me. Destroy walls. Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom. The holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour, and like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die, like threatening to kill both of us.
What? That nigga crazy. Can't be hanging with them. This nigga is a loser. Nigga driving fast as hell. God.
And this wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video, and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer, and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, you know, like, huh, yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it. Then at home, other things would happen, like I'd be trying to sleep and he would scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure. There was a time that I walked into a room that he was in, and as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him, and mine was doing better. So basically, I felt like...
Are you serious? Oh my god, Mizkif. You sucking, bruh. Nigga don't really sucking. You just mad over views, and you mad that she doing better. Like, why? That's weird. I'd be so happy that my girl would be doing better than me. Like, why? I don't get that. Is that like a, I don't know. That's weird. Weird as hell.
I was kind of stuck in a loop where I felt like I had to constantly perform and like prove my value to not be thrown away. But at the same time, if I ever performed too well, I was gonna be punished for it. And it just felt like a very rough situation to be stuck in because, I mean, streaming is my hobby and my job. Like, it's a huge part of my life, even before, you know, I met him and became like a larger creator. And I remember thinking all the time how it felt like he hated me, but he still wanted me around for his channel and like his thumbnails and everything. And this is still before I moved out. There was a time where it was the tension in the house was so unbearable that I would sneak out and I would sneak into Esfan's house using my code. And Esfan didn't know why I was doing this. He saw me a couple times. I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna go take a nap in your guest room. He'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I would sneak into Esfan's house just to have some time of like peace and quiet. But eventually, he figured out where I was going, and he would go over to Esfan's house to keep telling me off. And there was a time that he did it, and I was laying in the guest room bed, and one of the roommates in that house had come to see like why I was crying, and they were standing in the corner, and he came in and he was very physically aggressive. He was like, Emmy, like, what are you doing? Like, angry. And then as soon as he turned and saw this other person standing there, he instantly like deflated and changed his tone. He was like, oh, Emmy, I was wondering where you were. Like, are you coming home? And that roommate like later asked me about it, and they were like, what the fuck was that? Like, are you okay? And I was just like, oh, it's nothing, because I felt like a lot of the reason that I didn't tell the people around me was because I felt like no one would understand, or even if they understood, it would just be a burden to them, because all of our streams and social circles and communities are so intertwined. I was like, maybe it's just better for me to deal with this and like hope things get better, basically.
Sticky station.
I honestly don't even remember what the final straw was that I finally was like, okay, it's time to go. Like, I prepared the house that I lived in before this one, like, pretty much immediately after the, like, breaking the front door thing happened, but I was still, like, scared and unsure. So I don't remember what the final straw was, but I remember the day I took Cheddar to the house, because he just randomly started like screaming at Cheddar and was like, get that fucking cat out of my house. So I just grabbed Cheddar and put him in my car and grabbed his litter box and took him there, and I just left him there and never took him back to that house. And then I think like within several days after that was when I finally moved out. It was on very short notice. Like I said, I don't even remember what the final straw was because so many things happened, but there was a time when I just knew. I called some movers. I said, hey, can you come tomorrow? And they were like, yeah, and then I literally moved the next day. Moving out into the last house that I lived in was a huge step mentally, because, like I said, a big part of why I moved into the first house in Texas in the first place was because I felt like it was the safest option for me, because, you know, I am a girl where it's like kind of scary for me to be living alone. So it was very hard, and at the time, even though like all these other things had already happened, I was very hopeful that me and him could be cordial and like eventually like things would be fine, at least publicly, like for stream reasons, that, you know, everyone could just keep streaming like nothing had happened. And, you know, at the time I thought that would be the best thing to do, and I felt like if I, you know, separated myself from him without explaining anything, people that watched us wouldn't understand and would attack me. I was yeah, I mean, it ended up happening anyway, so, but, yeah, after I moved out, we, like I said, still kept in contact. I had hope that somehow things would get better. He would always beg for me to come back, and he would promise therapy and change, and, like, even talk to other people and, like, kind of present, like, oh, I want to change, I want to be better for Emmy or whatever, you know? There was a short period in October where we had broken up because, I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter now. And when that happened, I honestly felt relieved, because I was like, okay, finally, it's like on his terms, so that means he'll be satisfied and he'll be able to say it was his choice, and he'll leave me alone. Because whenever I would try to push for it, it just felt like I couldn't like really sever it, if that makes sense. But I mean, obviously, hence me doing this stream, that was not the end of it. A week after this breakup, he asked to come over to my house and talk from
Oh no.
closure.
No. No. Definitely.
He came to my house, and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high, because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him. So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I
Came over. Oh no. No. Came over.
was sitting on the couch, getting really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And
What?
I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And I screamed.
No. This nigga just SA'd her? What? This nigga on something else. Nigga just SA'd her. What the fuck?
Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like. And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still crying, without checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble for other streamers around us, or like, you know, making things weird for viewers. I know that probably sounds crazy, but like I just felt this pressure, like I had to try to keep things together, if that makes sense. I felt like I'd caused trouble for so many other people if I ever said anything bad about him, or if I caused rifts in our friend group or streamer group. I tried to stay on good terms with him and hold everything in, and also I still cared about him a lot, and I still at that point had hope that things would get better and that, you know, he would improve.
I have to hear what this nigga says now.
He'd also always hammer into
I know he gonna say some crazy stuff.
how he never physically abused me because he never hit me, and he would coach me and tell me to tell people or other streamers who were asking about it because they were concerned. He would say, tell them that I never hit you. Make sure that they know that I never hit you. Um,
Like that's
around the
one
same
up.
time.
He still SA'd her. That's an SA, if anything. The fact that you did that and you have not even talked to her in so long and you just do that, that's SA. Like, you can go to jail for that. Like, if she was like that, I don't know how she is, of course. But she, like, if she wanted to, you could send you to jail for that. Like, that's insane. There's no way that nigga did that. There ain't no way. And I'm not even laughing of the situation. I'm just laughing at the fact it's Mizkif. And he just doing some wild ish right now. Like, nigga, you really did that to her? Why? What made it in your right mind that you thought that'd be okay? Just went down there. And that is insane. I cannot wait to hear what he says. Oh man. Like, he could really go to jail for this. If she really wanted to, she could send him to jail for that. That man, wow.
This was during OnlyFans 2, so I guess like December-ish.
A time.
He would often message me in the middle of my streams and berate me for things like playing the same class as him in WoW because he thought it would make people think that I was better than him.
Such a loser. This nigga Miska is a loser. This nigga is so lame. Like, you mad at her one, she putting more views than you. You mad because she on the same WoW level? Niggas don't know what WoW is. It's World of Warcraft. Like, really? You was lame. You was a lame nigga. This nigga really mad at all this. At her for all this. This is crazy. I mean, my time. I gotta get up in the morning. This nigga. I'm mad at her because of all this. Really?
And
This
again,
nigga is
like I said
lame.
earlier, I felt like I was stuck in a constant
Lame.
loop where I had to perform well to not be thrown away. But if I performed too well, I was gonna be punished.
And that's fucked up. That's fucked.
Actually wanted to show some of those messages because obviously a lot of these things
She got messages.
yeah, I'm not gonna fully read these out because I honestly just don't want to read them out, but I feel like I want to show them to like kind of show what I'm saying.
Oh, hold on. We gonna have to read some of this right here. Oh, she gonna put all of them up here?
And I am planning to probably post the VOD of this somewhere, so if, you know, you want to read this later, that's fine, I guess. And again, this was all happening while I was live. You can literally go find the stream and see me trying to deal with this while I'm live in the middle of a dungeon, trying to just play the fucking game.
Tank Emi do it. Let me handle all the hate criticism. The you're the worst than Emi. The was better. People saying that you're better in every chat. The comparison says nobody will be on my side. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you not to become a tank, and you didn't listen. Now it's the classic. What was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. Like what?
Oh fuck, I think I.
Dude, don't do me. I asked you one thing. One thing with you. Now you're taking. What can I do? What the F am I supposed to do? Don't tank. Yep, there it is. I'm playing the game. Tank and me do it. Let me handle all the hate. Nigga crazy. What?
Tank Emmy, do it. Let me handle all the hate, the criticism, the you're worse than Emmys. Emmy be on my. Now it's the like I said, you can.
Let me see. First one. But how do I know it's not just someone who doesn't follow? LOL. Yeah, I'm just waiting to be DPS. But for dungeons, that's a tank. You don't really like. You don't. How can I not tank in straight up? Don't have to because you're a. My group didn't have any other warriors. Yeah, I know where this is going. I'm not dealing with it. Ad for boundaries always cross. You don't know boundaries. Aren't you a tank? When I said I don't want to be tanked, I meant I don't want to tank in raid, which is still true because I know what I'm doing. Do not need to tank in dungeons. So I just know I'm going too much shit nonstop. Don't ever pull a grow Emmy's better, Emmy this. I can't. Anything Emmy's better. Tank, just that simple.
Go find the stream. But
Mizkif is a loser. I'm sorry.
Playing, like, I wanted to be cool and I wanted us to be able to coexist in the same streaming sphere. But I felt like I could never win, and he hated my whole existence. Like ever since that one stream where I had like a little bit more viewers than him. And he would say that it was my fault that his stream was dying because most of his viewers liked me, and whenever he hit on another girl, they would be confused or not take it seriously because they knew that me and him were together privately. And he said if he would be able to hit on other girls and convince them that it was real, he would get his career back. That was like, started within the last couple of weeks that we spoke to each other. He started, saying terrible things to me about other streamers in Austin. In particular, one specific streamer who, I know there's a lot of people that know he has beef with certain streamers. It was not one of those streamers. It was someone who, to this day, has been nothing but nice to him. He would say horrible things about this person, like about them in their stream, and it was very hard to listen to. And just in general, he would say horrible things about other streamers in Austin, like, I quote, "I hate everyone here. You are all useless to me. You're worthless to me because it does nothing for my stream anymore to collab with any of you." And him saying that was the final straw for me. The day that he said that to me about other people was the first day that I ever, for the first time, started to ignore his calls and messages. And because of that, he even threatened to come to my house if I didn't answer. But I did end up calling him back, and I spoke to him, and I basically told him that I felt like I could finally see things for what they were. And he started panicking, and he was super apologetic, and he was saying he didn't want to lose me, which wasn't the first time that he like did something like that, and was like, you know, basically begging me not to leave. But that was definitely the most extreme time. And again, like I said, I always had the hope that things would be cordial, or that, you know, we could be fine with each other. So I agreed, and we agreed we were going to talk about all of that. We talked about it about a week later, and instead of apologizing for anything, he basically told me that he realized he needed to go to Japan and LA to get his viewership back up, and he was basically too young to focus on friendships and relationships. And it was I mean, despite everything, like I said, I still cared about him, so it was still hard. And I mean, it was like a mix of feelings, you know, like I was devastated, but I was also so relieved. But because of the past incidents during like other fights and times I would try to separate myself from him, past incidents during those times of him manipulating me into staying close with him and giving him more chances, sexually assaulting me, the abuse, and just him generally not being a very nice person. After that, I decided that the only solution and way for me to move forward, I made the hard decision, but I know now for sure the right one, was to finally completely cut contact with him. I knew it'd be very hard because our careers and our communities were so intertwined, but I knew that I had to do it and that there was no other choice.
Hey!
Man, no, it be like that. I can't count.
So
It be like that, man. It be like that, but you know, hey, all you can do, look at this. Oh, nigga, I still got this. Valorant. I didn't mean change. All you can do, bro, is like just do that. Like, just cut all context. I'm saying, it's tough for both of them, but they probably still have, you know what I'm saying, that feeling. Um, it's a it's a sticky situation. Um, 'Cause I already know how this is gonna go. 'Cause like I said, this nigga Mizkif, he always get into something. This happened last year. This happened. I think this happened the year before that. So he got into something. Now this, getting all these allegations towards you, and domestic violence, SA, and crazy, crazy. Like, I know you probably a little hot head, but like not to that level. That's insane. SAing, that's a little too much. But I'm glad that she cut contact. They decided whoever. I'm glad there's no contact because it's probably best for both. Now who knows? You know what I'm saying, they grow later in life, able to never know, bro. Never know. This is a very sticky way.
oh, I have not spoken to him since January of this year. It's been 10 months. But if you think that's the end, it is unfortunate. Definitely not. I haven't spoken to him since January of this year. It only took a couple of weeks, but soon the messages started. He has attempted to contact me over 40 times individually this year in individual texts, Discord messages, Instagram DMs, and phone calls. And I'm just gonna show those.
Left nigga on red. Left him on red. Man, that's hey man.
And at first, it started simple. Be confusing messages or like him expressing he was worried about things. Like at first it wasn't anything weird.
Let's see. Hey, just to make sure I don't have in her. No, I'm removed. I didn't answer my call. I want you to either you I'm paid. Here, please isolated by my oh, have this. I can come home. Leave. Oh, yeah, I ain't picking it up, nigga. I was just reading it. I understand. I would just leave you alone, but I really appreciate talk. I won't text you after this. I really don't want to talk. I really don't want to. I really do want to talk if possible. I know you don't want to hear from me, but I can't just not message just to catch you. I'll be up on talk tomorrow. Oh my god. You know what? I'm gonna keep it real. I understand if you fighting, you know what I'm saying? If you fighting for it, I I respect it. But don't be fighting over something that you caused. You know what I'm saying? Like you being you essaying, like I said, a little too much. Essaying, that's a lot. Domestic abuse and all that. That's insane. I really need to tell you things. Sorry for the past few minutes. Sorry for what's that happened. I just need this time to be on. I just need but being alone and alone. I don't want to be without you. Such that I hurt you and left. But I know I needed it. I want please that happened. Stop thinking about what I want. Oh my god, Mizkif. Jesus. Crazy. I want you to please just hear me out. I am. I'll come home from Japan right now for you. Answer me, I mean, so at least tell me. Jesus. Paragraphs, nigga. Golly. I ain't, I don't, I ain't never. Now, of course, if we was in contact, of course, but like fighting wise, fighting for it, nah, I ain't never like paragraphs, nigga. That's crazy. And months later, nah.
This is not someone who loves or cares about you.
For it. Conversation. Tell me something. Making me. What have I? Not the Discord, man. Phone number ain't working. Go on Discord. I was. I hadn't here. This nigga. I'll tell you myself. I need that. I had missed out on. Where's my other afraid of what it meant to trust someone is beautiful. Kind of crazy.
The last
Telegram.
Being a vacation planner is like one of the most rewarding jobs I have ever had in my life. For me, like this definitely affords me flexibility. I think
And keep in mind, this is only things that he sent to me. I can't document all the things that people told me that he was saying. And just kind of a funny side note, I guess. I would like to highlight this message because it doesn't really matter, but I ran it through a ChatGPT checker and all the highlights. Like I said, doesn't really matter. I just thought it was interesting. But yeah. Like I said at first, the messages were just simple things, like him saying he was worried about things or saying no one was talking to him, which I don't think was even true at the time. I think he was just saying that to try to guilt me into responding to him. I'm not sure about that, of course. This also extended to in-person interactions because initially I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through private communication and, you know, we would be fine going to the same events and parties and such. I also had to start hold on, I'm still fucking sick.
Hey, Daddy.
I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through personal private communication, but I also had to start avoiding going to the same parties or places I was worried he'd be in person. Because this was after he came back from his first trip to Japan. There was a party that I attended several months after I first went into contact with him. I was aware that he would be there, and I thought it'd be fine. I thought it wouldn't be a big deal. I thought I'll just let him have his space. I'll have my space. You know, it's not a big deal. We're adults, right? During this party, I felt like he was following me around and monitoring me, but I thought that I was just being paranoid. I was like, it's probably just in your head. I was hanging out with Nick and Catchy and a couple other friends. And at some point, Nick was like, it's too fucking loud down here. Let's go upstairs. No one's upstairs. Let's just go, you know, chill in a room and like talk where it's not so loud. And I was like, okay. So they, as a group, went upstairs first without me, but it took me a bit longer to get up there because someone like stopped me and was talking to me. And I did feel like, I mean, he was like standing pretty close to that person. I felt like he was watching me, but again, I thought I was just being paranoid. But I went upstairs. I was hanging out with Nick and Catchy and, you know, our other friends. And then about 30 minutes later, the room that we're in, the door opens. It's Miz. He opens the door, makes eye contact with me, goes, ooh, and then closes the door and leaves. And I was like, what the fuck? But again, I was still trying my best to, you know, give the benefit of the doubt, like, you know, maybe it's just like an awkward situation or something. But a couple months later, the person that he was hanging out with that night reached out to me privately and was apologizing. And I was like, why? And they're like, I just felt like I had to apologize to you because I felt so bad and so embarrassed of what was going on. Like, yes, he wanted to see what you were doing. He was saying, like, I want to go see what's upstairs, and he was checking every room. And then after he opened the room that you were in with Nick, he closed the door and started laughing, and then he just wanted to talk about, you know, how you guys broke up for the next, like, however many hours of the night. So I was like, wow, okay, that's good to know, I guess. The next story, that I want to tell involves what happened to me, Valkyrie, and Cinna earlier this year when we were attacked at the Santa Monica Pier, because that was obviously, hold on, let me close all these fucking texts. I don't want to look at them, they're still on my desktop.
Great audio.
So that's pretty much it with Mizkif. Yeah, that nigga's a weirdo. I know what else. I know what else. I don't know how he gonna jump back from this. This one's pretty. This one's a lot. This one's a lot. Jesus, Mizkif.